Welcome, fellow gardeners. I'm going to explain and then demonstrate how to plant prairie turnip. It is a native wild edible to the cross timbers and many other areas of the United States and was utilized by indigenous peoples. It is a nitrogen fixer, so it's beneficial for your soil, and being a native species is extremely hardy for both winter and summer conditions. And I hope you consider planting it and adding to the natural biodiversity of your area. And I bought this from Prairie Moon Nursery, a great place to get seeds, especially native seeds. I've planted these in the ground before, and I just did it as an experiment. And the problem is that these seeds can stay dormant for 9 years, 10 years maybe. And they still haven't come up what I planted, and that was like 3 years ago. So to get around that, what you have to do is scarify the seeds. And that's a process of basically sanding through the seed coat, so that way it's easier for the seed to germinate. And what Prairie Moon suggests is that you soak them in boiling water for 24 hours. It doesn't mean you have to boil the water for 24 hours straight, obviously. You boil the water once, and you pour the hot boiling water over the seeds and let them soak, like in a cup, and then just let them sit there for 24 hours. And then through that process, after you're done, you can take them out of the water and plant them in the dirt. And they should germinate a lot easier, a lot faster, within about a week. If you look online, some people will go through the seed coat so much they notch the seed really, really deep, all the way into the meat of the seed. And those people say to soak it in hot water from the tap, which is obviously substantially colder than boiling water. So probably the amount of scarification you do is going to be tied a little bit to how hot that water is. So since Prairie Moon says to use boiling water, I'm going to use that. And it doesn't actually have any directions on how far to cut through that seed coat. So I'm going to cut just a little bit through, and we'll see how they germinate. And for reference, those are the seeds. You can see how small they are with my finger in there, so you know what they look like, kind of like beans. They have an eye. I don't know if I can get the eye on there. There's the eye. You can see that little light colored spot on there. And then the scarified side. There you go. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but this side of the seed is the eye. So I'm going to grab it by the eye, and that's the back side of the seed. And this is some medium grit sandpaper you can use. You can wrap this around a block if it's easier for you, and you just rake it back and forth. Whoop. These seeds are very tiny. My fat fingers has trouble holding on to it. You probably can't see it, but it's starting to take that black seed coat off. Here we go. Let's get a good grip on this. All right, so you probably can't see, but it's starting to get lighter. Try to zoom it. You can see a little bit of green. This is the scarified side. And I'm just barely gotten through that seed coat. So we're gonna probably go a little bit more. Probably a few more swipes, just to make sure we're nice and through. I think he's popping out of my fat fingers. see, there's the side I've been scarifying. You see how it's lighter? You can almost see it's like a greenish color as opposed to the black seed coat. So, given my old eyes, from what I can see, that's probably good enough. We'll see if this is good enough. This is an experiment, and I'll take you along with me on the experiment. So, what I have is 8 seeds. This one I scarified much more than the others, so I'm going to plant it separate to see how it grows. And what this bag of black stuff is an inoculum. I believe that it's a bacteria. I'll have to read the directions. But these fix nitrogen into the soil. It's probably not necessary to plant that, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it in with the seed when I plant it. But before I can plant it, I got to boil some water and put these in a cup and let them soak in that boiled water while the water's hot for 24 hours. And then pull them out and plant them. So what I'll do is I'll let them soak 24 hours and show them to you after they've been soaking. They should swell up and get much larger. Okay, so it has been 24 hours. Actually, it's been 29 hours. And the seeds have soaked. I'm gonna drain the water out, and I'm gonna show, I got a seed here that is, it has not been soaked or scarified. And I'm gonna show them side by side so you can see how they've swollen up. I also have this inoculant that comes with it, and I'm just gonna dump this into the pots whenever I plant the seed. So when I come back, I'll show you the water drained. You can see the seeds side by side. Okay, so I've taken them out of the cup, and because I'm a stupid oaf, I smashed one of the seeds with the cup when I was dumping it out. So you can see how, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can see how it's popped out. I'm still gonna plant it. I don't think it's gonna work very well. So, like I promised, I'm gonna take one of the seeds that was not treated and set it side by side so you can see how they've swollen considerably. This is the older, this is the seed that has not been soaked, and this is a seed that has. You can see the difference. Okay, so this is the inoculant. It's a bacteria, and I don't think it's really necessary, but you know, they gave it to me. I'm gonna use it. I'm just gonna put a little bit into each hole. And that's that. And then I'm gonna put a seed in each hole. This is just basic seed planting. They're about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch deep. And that's that. And then we'll just cover them up. I'll probably moisten the soil a little bit more. The soil's already a little bit moist, as you can probably see in the video. The type of potting soil this is leftover potting soil that I had from a long time ago. It's actually pretty good stuff. We'll see how that comes out, but basically any potting soil you have, whether you make it yourself or you buy it, doesn't really matter. This is kind of an experiment anyway. I've not had any luck getting these to grow yet, so hopefully we'll see what happens. That's it.